Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Medical Classes by Dr. Srinidhi Kumar K. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel and also please give your valuable comments. Friends, we know that Kaumarabhritya is one among the 8 branches of Ayurveda, and it is also called as Bala Roga or Bala Chikitsa. Kashyapa Samhita is considered as the most authoritative book of Kaumarabhritya, as we know, because it dealt with the topics of Kaumarabhritya to a greater extent compared to other Samhitas. Now, what is the greatness of a physician of Kaumarabhritya or Bala Roga Chikitsa specialist? What is the greatness of this pediatrician compared to the other doctors? That has been very beautifully explained by Kashyapa. So what Kashyapa says is, Bishak Kaumarabhrityaste Karanir Nitya Dukkitaha. That means, a physician of Kaumarabhritya will be always rendering his duties under great stress. Nitya Dukkitaha. The reason why he gives for that is, the extent of the duty of a pediatrician is not only limited to the child, because physician of Kaumarabhritya has to also look into the pregnant lady, because the fetus is growing inside her womb, and the physician has to also look into the Sutika Stri, because the Sutika Stri is giving feed to the baby, which has got its own effects on the developing baby. All the fetal events or antenatal events has got direct effects on the growing fetus. And in the postnatal period, the breast milk of the Sutika Stri has got its own effects on the growing baby. So now, extent of duty of pediatrician has been ranging from the Garbha Kala to the Sutika Kala. So he has to look after the fetus when it is growing inside the womb. He has to look after the baby when it is fed by the Sutika Stri. Along with that, he also has to look after the disorders of the child or baby. So, this make the job of the pediatrician very tough. This is point number 1, why he says that pediatrician is great than the other physicians. Number 2, especially when he deals with the disease of the child, especially the baby, or maybe up to the infantile period or toddler period or even up to preschool period, the diagnosis and treatment of the disorders of this child, baby or infant is very difficult. So why? Because when we talk in terms of Ayurveda, we talk in terms of Vatas, Pitta, Kapha as the 3 doshas, 3 biological factors of the body. In the adult body, Vata, Pitta, Kapha are completely get developed, they are matured. And what are all the symptoms which are explained under the heading of Vata Kshaya, Vata Vruddhi, Vata Prakopa or whatever, and Vatasya Upakrama. So they are well fitted to the adult body. But when you assess the disorders of Vata, Pitta, Kapha in the newborn baby or in the developing child, growing child, Vatadir Vinaha, that means the Vata, Pitta and Kapha are not completely get developed in children. In spite of that, you have to understand the disorders which is caused by the Vata, Pitta and Kapha. What I mean to say is, suppose you have got completely developed the doshas, like Vata is completely developed, Pitta is completely developed, Kapha is completely developed. Then you have got a standard protocol for their identification in terms of Vata Vruddhi, Vata Kshaya, Vata Prakopa, etc. Now, as Vata, the doshas itself are not completely developed in children, you didn't find the textbook pattern of Vata Kshaya, Vata Vruddhi and Vata Prakopa Lakshanas in the children. Now, the diagnosis of the disease is very difficult. This is the second important point why he says that a physician of Kaumarabhritya has to render his duties with a great stress. Now, this is really challenging. He has to use his imaginary power, he has to use his wisdom, okay, he has to use his inference, okay, along with the textual knowledge, because the factors which we are actually assessing, subjective or objective criteria, whatever it may be, so that itself is not completely developed. So this makes Vatadir Vinaha. Number one. Number two. Number three is ingitaha chesta darshane. The expression of the symptoms is also not complete. Baby has got paucity of the symptoms. Now we know that newborn uses cry to indicate so many problems. Okay, so when the baby is crying, it has got hundreds of causes. Now it is the intelligence of the pediatrician that he has to identify that by looking into some other associated aspects. So child is not able to express his own feelings or suffering, pain or whatever, but still the physician of Kamarpurtya has to identify these feelings, he has to assess it, inference it, okay? So he has to imagine it and by his own wisdom power, and he has to identify the disease and he has to treat. Chestaha, there is no symptomatology and there is no ingita, that is feelings are not expressed properly. That means expressed, but there are wide range of purview is there for that, because cry is used to indicate so many problems. Loss of sleep is there, child is refusal to feed is there, so that indicates so many problems, not a pinpointed problem. So now this makes the job of the pediatrician very, very tough. Second important thing. Then one more important is, in spite of all these limitations, what are the limitations? Number one is he has to take the care of the pregnant lady, he has to take the care of the baby, he has to take the care of the postnatal lady. He has to diagnose the thing without proper development of Vatadi doshas. He has to diagnose and treatment without expression of proper symptomatology. He has to identify, diagnose and treat the disorders without proper history taking, because nobody is there to give the history taking. Because mother may be giving some of the history, but baby itself is not expressing his feeling, either physically or psychologically. In spite of all these limitations, what society expects? Na parudnyat. That means, although these all limitations are there, what the parents and society expect from a pediatrician is, he should not commit any mistakes. Because baby, child or toddler, whatever infant, is an emotional aspect to the parents. So they are so much bonded, or emotionally they are bonded with that baby. So they do not expect any mistake from your side, because it's a matter of emotion to them. They are ready to do anything for their baby. So this being the case, society expects that whatever maybe the limitations are there with the pediatrician, he should not commit any mistakes. This is beautifully told by Kashyapa. Therefore he says, Bishak Kaumar Mrityastehe Karanir Nitya Dukkitaha. So Kaumar Mritya physician is always working under great stress, because he has got stress from the society. He has got stress in terms of diagnosis, in terms of treatment. Okay, because the textual pattern will not be seen. Okay, what are the doshas are not developed. Okay, child is not expressing anything. Okay, so everything has to be imaginary and based on the experience. So this makes the work of pediatrician very, very tough and challenging. Therefore, rightly Kashyapa says, Bishak Kaumar Mrityastehe Karnir Nitya Dukkitaha. Isn't it? So therefore, we have to give a big salute to a pediatrician. So as Kashyapa says, we should give a big salute to the duty rendered by a Kaumar Mritya physician. Thank you very much. Again, we will meet with another important class. And don't forget to subscribe my channel, and also please give your valuable comments. Thank you very much.